Hey, good morning. This is another editing session exclusively for patrons. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being a patron. I have a new video today and it's early in the morning. I use the morning hour to just polish and tweak whatever I've gotten so far, like especially the beginning. I spent a lot of time trying to get the first 30 seconds, first minute to be perfect before I really move on to the rest of the video, because it sort of sets the bar. This particular one, I'm not really happy with the way that I shot this. For some reason the colors are weird and my face looks weird, and one of my goals is I want to minimize myself in this video as much as possible, but I don't really have any other footage, so I gotta pull it from everywhere and make it really fun and creative and make it short. 10 tips, if I can get them down to less than 3 minutes, that'd be amazing. We'll see if that happens. Usually I always come in long and then I fall in love. But enough talk, let's watch the cut and then I'm gonna do some cutting. This is what we got so far. Thanks to Squarespace for their support. I asked you what you thought is some of the best editing advice, and I compiled a list of 10 things you can do instantly to bring your editing game to the next level. Oh, I like it. Not bad. I want to preface this by saying that these, of course, are just opinions, and editing is an art form. So, not sure about this image. Editing is an art form, so maybe editing I need to first show somebody editing again, and then cut fast to that Picasso that kind of looks weird, and maybe I increase it too. And editing is an art form, so there are exceptions to the rules. Yuck. And you might as well
do whatever you want.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Many editors start off with a fat timeline and they whittle it down to uncover the good stuff. Try building your scenes from the ground up. Okay, here you can see the problems with the colors. Take that away, Jesus. So, not bad. Feels kind of fun. Feels a little busy and overproduced. So far, I'm like, okay, I'm game. If this is a short video, I'm going to be in on it, is my feeling. So here, I'm going to put whatever the first tip is, just a brief description of that tip. So tip number 1 is don't take away add. I got to find a better way to phrase that, but the idea is build instead of shaving. There are two different philosophies here. The one is, and that's more common, is people shave. They put everything into a timeline that could possibly end up in the cut, and then they whittle it down. That takes a lot of time, and you see them, and they're in the timeline. So you have to consciously make that decision to take them away and be ruthless. It's much better to, I'm actually saying this much better now than I was doing the recording session, so I should actually use this. Identify all the great moments, what I call the gold moments, and build from there. So you put those in the timeline first, and then to take an okay mediocre moment to add to that, that's going to take action. You're going to have to overcome yourself. You're going to have to work to put something mediocre into the timeline to compete with all the other great stuff. And by doing it this way, A, it's faster, because you don't have to like see it over and over again and start taking things away. You just plop in a couple of things and you immediately have a great cut, hopefully, or great moments that then you can work with. So that's the tip. Now I need to find a way to say that quickly. Maybe it's like, don't carve, build. That's not bad. Don't carve away, build from greatness. Don't carve away the mediocre. Don't carve away the bad. Build from greatness. That's not bad. I'm gonna stick with that for now. So I'm gonna make that a cool graphic, not on this video, because motion graphics is my least favorite thing, takes me the most amount of time, and I never really make it awesome. So then here I want to visualize. So far I'm kind of happy with it. I could see that go out into an early access, a sneak peek release that people can tell me what they think. I was working with an intern here. This time it's Robert, and he did a good job, and I gotta commend him for attempting to cut in Final Cut 10, which is the first time he's done it. Preface this by saying that these, of course, are just opinions, and editing is an art form, so there are exceptions to the rule. And editing is an art form. So I want to show editing here. I pulled a bunch of editing shots. There's a website that I can recommend, which is called Videvo. So it's like video with a V in it. Videvo. That has free stock footage. I pulled everything that I could find regarding film and editing. These are some transitions, some burns. That's cool. This shot I already used. This I will use somewhere. Not quite editing, but switching. That's still old school, cool. Definitely gonna use some of that. That one I used. Okay, don't really have another great editing shot right now. Maybe I'll do this one now. Either this one, unfortunately this is a long shot that's worth sticking with, so I might use that somewhere else. I have to admit it's not quite editing. Let's pretend this is what we like. And again, at the beginning you have to be a little forgiving. You just need to get the ball rolling. So I'm going to put that on top. These, of course, are just opinions, and editing is an art form. Somewhere here, let's see. And editing is an art form, so there are exceptions to. So there are exceptions to the rule. Usually, at the beginning, I try to build everything as layers. Once I'm happy with what I have, I can bring that stuff down. I could also put this, I could actually put the white underneath. Like here. And then bring this down. Don't need this anymore. Bring this down. Bring this down. And with Final Cut 10, it automatically knows what to keep in terms of the audio. That's the magic of the magnetic timeline. Saying that these, of course, are just opinions, and editing is an art form. So this could be a little earlier here. That these, of course, are just opinions, and editing is an art form. Okay, and then this is loud. Bring it down. Actually, maybe at the beginning. It's okay because there's a slight pause, but then I'll bring it down to here, and I'll fade it in just a tad. Opinions, and editing is an art form. And here that transition is a little rash. So I move that keyframe that was automatically created. And editing is an art form. And that is a little loud still. So I'm going to go by using the shortcut command. I can step down by 1 dB increments. Opinions, and editing is an art form, so there are exceptions to. So editing is an art form. Editing is an art form. Kind of cool. Let's make this white in the background, and let's have this come towards us. Usually I work with 2 monitors, and I have this preview monitor here on the left side, and then I'll keep the inspector up, but because I can only record for you one screen that you can see everything, I'll put the viewer here as well, and then I'll close the inspector every once in a while so you have less clutter and you can see more of the actual screen. So I wanted that to come at me. So where do we have the size? That's a drop shadow transform. We're starting off at 76 degrees. And somewhere here, I want to be right in our face. So not only do I want to go this way, I want to go this far. And I don't care that it's soft. With the position as well, I want to change the position. So I'll set keyframes for the position. And now I'm going to bring down this face. Somewhere here. Let's see what that looks like. And editing is an art form, so there are exceptions. It is an art form, so there are exceptions. That's kind of weird, because it takes a dip and comes back up, which has to do with the keyframes being not linear. They're like Bezier or whatever it's called. Control V, transform. I guess it's position. Linear. Okay, there we go. There should be another keyframe here. And we're making that linear as well. Control V is going to close this again. Let's see if this looks better. Editing is an art form, so there are exceptions. It does look better. Editing is an art form, so there are... Let me see if I start at 100%, because this white border is bugging me. And editing is an art form, so there are exceptions. Okay, I want to go this far. This far. And I don't need this much of the sound of the camera spool or the film spool. Opinions and editing is an art form, so there are exceptions to the rules. And you might as well
do whatever you want. 1, 2, 3. Listen.
This is gonna come up somehow. It's gonna like type onto the screen. A timeline, and they whittle it down to. I definitely want to have the
start
word
off with a fat timeline.
Fat timeline here. Come up. So I'm gonna just use a temp text and spell fat the way that Robert did it, because I thought it was cool. And he spelled it fat timeline. Something like that.
To start off with a fat timeline.
And then I'm out again. Just quick and fun. This whole video needs to be quick and fun.
With a fat timeline, and they whittle it down to uncover the good stuff.
So this, he recorded this, but this doesn't say fat timeline to me and whittling down. So I'm gonna have to re-record something that fits that idea. So let me see if I have a fat timeline somewhere that I can whittle down. What do I have here? Oh, this kind of symbolizes that actually. Let me just see what's going on here. Yeah, that sort of works. I'm gonna use that for now. So I'm gonna show the timeline in its entirety. This shot right here, that symbolizes fat timeline. Boom. Now, it's gonna be long. I don't need the audio. And I'm going to speed that thing up. So I'm gonna take this away, disable it.
Fat timeline, and they whittle it with a fat timeline.
So fat timeline and seeing the fat timeline at the same time. Let's make this full screen. So fat timeline is going to be on top, and I'm going to put a box around it, or I'm going to make the background shot more opaque. I'm going to figure something out. For now, I'll just sort of leave it at that, and then I'll fix it later.
To start off with a fat timeline, and they whittle it down.
So now I want to show whittle it down. I want to see where I take shots out. There, I took a shot out.
Oh man, you like that?
Okay, so that's gonna go here. Again, I'm gonna make it super short. And I want to show a couple more whittles. Here at the end, I'm gonna slow it down because it's happening too fast. Let's go to normal, see what that looks like.
And they whittle it down.
Okay, so now I want to do that one more time. Boom. Took a shot away. Put that here. Let's see what we got so far.
To start off with a fat timeline, and they whittle it down to uncover the good stuff. It down to uncover the good.
It's happening a little fast. And at the beginning, again, I'm gonna go to 100% to see the end result. Let's see how that works.
Fat timeline, and they whittle it down to uncover the good stuff. Try building your scenes from.
Oh my god, if I have to look at me for the next couple of hours, it's gonna be rough. It's always rough. Okay, just for shits and giggles, let's see if we can find one more. No.
Only your best moments and keep adding.
Okay, so all this stuff I kind of want to have here.
And they whittle it down to uncover the good stuff. Try building your.
To uncover the good stuff. So maybe I'll just let the music play for a moment and we can see the process. So I'll put this shot over here for now.
Start off with a fat timeline, and they whittle it down to uncover the good stuff.
So
Uncover the good stuff.
it's kind of done here.
Good stuff.
Seems like a repeat. So instead of that, let's do this.
Many editors start off with a fat timeline, and they whittle it down to uncover the good stuff.
Okay, that sounds about right. I'm good with that. So then I will have... What is this?
It's time consuming, it's inefficient, and
That's actually nice. I want to have it start right here.
it's time consuming, it's inefficient, and try building your stuff.
Time consuming, it's inefficient. What else? This is a temp VO that I just recorded with a dirty mic, or like a bad mic, but it's quick and easy.
It's time consuming, it's inefficient, and the chances that you are settling for mediocre stuff.
And what?
And the chances that you are
It's like an incomplete thought. Is there more to it?
it's inefficient, and the chances that you are
Try
settling
building
for
your scenes from the
mediocre
ground.
Shut up.
that you are settling for mediocre stuff. The chances that you are
Oh, the chances. I'm going to change this up. I'm going to listen back to how I explained it in this video. Rewrite this according to that.
efficient, and the chances that you are settling for mediocre stuff.
So I'm going to continue papering this with more shots of this, and then I'm going to show the opposite. I'll find a timeline where I'm actually building and adding gold, adding good moments to the cut and build it from the ground up. We are 45 minutes recording. Hopefully I can cut this down. Let's watch this in full screen so you get an idea what we did today.
Listen.
Many editors start off with a fat timeline and they whittle it down to uncover the good stuff. Try building your scenes from the ground up with only your best moments. And okay, so this is tip number 1. Probably too long if I'm really trying to make this a snappy, fast, boom, boom, boom. Here are 8 tips. I have 10 recorded. Maybe I'll bring it down to 8. Maybe it's going to be 5. But I want this to be super fast, that you get a lot of takeaway in a short amount of time. Make it funny. Use lots of memes or just stock footage that brings some humor to it. That's one of the biggest challenges for me, is to make this entertaining. Most of the time I can like just talk and my dry nature makes it kind of boring. By spicing it up with the right footage that's going to create some subtext and humor, hopefully it's going to be entertaining. Gives you a little bit of an idea again. Thank you so much for being a patron, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you enjoy these videos, and then we're gonna keep making them just exclusively for Patreon members. Have a good one. Bye bye.